வணக்கம். மீண்டும் என்னோட பாட்காஸ்ட்டுக்கு வருக. 2 நாள் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணல. ஏன்னா நான் தஞ்சாவூர் போயிருந்தேன். தம்பி சார் ரொம்ப டென்ஷனில் இருந்தார். எனிவே, வெல்கம் பேக் டு மை பாட்காஸ்ட். I was away in Tanjore for a couple of days, could not record. I think we are at Law 18, Vinod. So
No, we finished Law 18.
we finished Law 18.
We're at Law 19
Law
now.
19 of Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. And let's start with Law 19. படிங்க தம்பி சார்.
Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their living life seeking revenge. These are wolves in lamb's clothes. Choose your victims and opponents carefully then. Never offend or deceive the wrong person. The reversal of this law is there is no reversal. But he goes on further to explain opponents are of 4 types. No, actually 5 types. He said you have the arrogant and the proud, you have the hopeless, insecure man, you have Mr. Suspicion, who suspects everything, the serpent with a long memory, then the plain, unassuming, often unintelligent man. Each one we can dive into. So, Anand, why don't you give us an example about this? We were talking about something interesting today morning about Vensakar and Dravid.
Yeah, you sent me an article where Vensakar talked about Sarfaraz Khan. You have not heard of Sarfaraz Khan because you are not following the game as closely as I have done. Sarfaraz's father is a cricketing enthusiast. He moved from Asamgarh to Bombay so that his sons could play better. Now all of these current crop of Bombay greats, except Ajike Rahane, including Rohit Sharma, are all imports. They are not the traditional Bombay batsmen like Manjrekar, Gavaskar, Tendulkar, Kamli. These are not brought up Bombay guys. Okay? These are guys who have come from poorer parts of the country, like Jaiswal. There's a kid called Jaiswal who plays for, I think he plays for Bombay, but he learned his games in the fields of Bombay, in the Maidans of Bombay. Then there is this kid, Sarfaraz Khan. And his brother, I think, is Muniz Khan or Munsir or some name. Both of them played for Bombay. And both are supremely talented kids. This kid has scored 300 runs in a single match and has played extraordinarily well for Bombay this season. He's 24-25. He used to play for Royal Challengers Bangalore. Kohli picked him believing in his talent. He didn't deliver. Kohli dropped him, and now Royal Challengers, I think Punjab has picked him up. Punjab has picked him up. And Vensakar's gripe is they didn't get enough chance. Now, why is he attacking this thing? Now, because Sarfaraz has behaved very badly as a player. That is, he abandoned Bombay and said, you are not giving enough chance. He went and played for UP for a couple of seasons or one season. Then came back to Bombay. Then Bombay got him back. His brother behaved badly and he was banned from cricket for 2-3 years. In under 19, he showed dissent against the umpire. All these brats behave badly. The Sarfaraz is part of that. And why Vensakar didn't go at... Vensakar went behind this case. You have to see there is a history. In the olden days, Bombay and Karnataka dominated cricket, with Bombay having the upper hand. In 2007, Vensakar was the chief selector of the Indian team, chairman of the Indian selection team. And Rahul Dravid was the captain of the Indian team. We lost badly in West Indies. In the World Cup, the wickets were too slow. Our team could not cope. For whatever reason, things went bad. And except one match against Bahamas or Bermuda, we lost some important matches. We lost to Bangladesh. And it was a team that was supposed to have won the World Cup. It was one of our best teams. And anyway, so he blamed Rahul Dravid for it. And there was a big argument between Dravid and Mensakar. It went public. And normally the mild-mannered Rahul Dravid reminded Mensakar on who was the better batsman. Rahul never does that. Rahul never does that. He's a very soft-spoken man, very decent guy. And Mensakar could have handled it better. In an arrogance of being a Bombay great and being honest. These guys are honest only when the players involved are not from Bombay. They will always hang around with each other. They could not digest a non-Bombay batting great. You understand what I'm saying? Till Dravid came around, Vishwanath was a non-Bombay, but he was married. But he was married to Gavaskar's sister. Azharuddin gave him protection because Gavaskar was the demigod of Bombay cricket. And the other great guy was Mohammad Azharuddin, who was thrown out in disgrace. Okay. And Jimmy Amarnath was never given his due. So these guys they thought Bombay was the be all and end all of cricket. But when the 2000s came, Tendulkar was the last great original batsman from Bombay. Rahane didn't become as big as these guys. Okay. But after Tendulkar, Rohit Sharma is an import. Safras is an import. Importna வெளியூர்லேருந்து கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. So when by 2007 it was evident that Bombay is a big decline. Bombay has not won a Ranji Trophy in many years. Whereas there was a time when they used to win it left and right. In a limited over match now recently, Bombay lost to Puducherry. Pondicherry beat Bombay. Okay, this is now. But 2007, it was not sure this much is going to decline so much. So they attacked Dravid. And Dravid was publicly humiliated and resigned. The other this Bombay, Karnatakaல 3 பேர் இருந்தாங்க. உள்ளுக்குள்ள கன்னடாலேயே பேசிப்பாங்க ஒருத்தனுக்கு ஒருத்தன். ஒன்று இவன் Srinath, Ivan, and the third great Anil Kumble. Kumble has won more matches for India than any Mumbaikar or anybody in India because you have to take 20 wickets to win a test match. So, who is the coach of Mumbai? Who is the coach of Punjab is being run by Anil Kumble. So, he took a swipe. My kid is great. My kid has done everything. He is in the top of the batting average. What more can you do? He has done everything he can do. But the point is, he didn't behave properly. Like Rahul Dravid. It is coming back to haunt him. It haunted Kumble, Kamli. See, Kamli, they finished him off. Because he supposedly he misbehaved in a drunken fit with a chairman of selector, which if I remember right used to be Gundappa Vishwanath. Now Vishwanath is a thorough gentleman and one of the greats of the game. And he calmly did something wrong and he was rightfully punished. But you cannot have one rule for Gundappa Vishwanath and one rule today. So Safras has to do quite a bit to prove himself. And now what has happened, cricket has become more common.
And of course, competition a lot more now.
Competition is a lot more. Right? And Mensakar used to be a supporter of Shiva Sena in those days. Now if you are in today's situation, if my name is Shreyas Iyer and name is Safras, then the current environment in India is Shreyas Iyer will be picked. with Shreyas Iyer and Safras score equal number of runs. Obviously, Shreyas Iyer will be picked and Safras will be dropped. Both are from Bombay. Shreyas Iyer will also become captain of India. Safras will not even make it to the 60. Unless you are a fast bowler and India doesn't have fast bowlers, you will not make it. It's very controversial what I'm saying, but it's the truth. So this guy has behaved badly. And in the current political environment, his name is a problem. Now, Vensarkar is not. Vensarkar's past is he was supporting these elements, Shiva Sena and all these nonsense. So he was not a secular guy. Amchi Mumbai down. That is. So he is picking up Safras to stick a beat with Kumble and Tendulkar, Dravid. Because Kumble and Dravid are now running Indian cricket. That is, they are all close friends here. Those 5 guys are close friends. That is Dravid, Lakshman, Ganguly, Tendulkar and Kumble are very close friends. These 5 guys. They played India for 10 years together. Now Tendulkar is the only odd man out. The rest were all one gang, South Indians. So
Correct.
you can pick up the phone and tell Rahul this kid is good. Then Rahul will take a look at that kid. You understand what I am saying?
Yes, that's influence. Yes.
Right. But when Vensarkar picks up the phone and tells one guy is good, he will not even see that guy. Because of the past.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is what exactly that law is saying.
This is because of the past.
Correct. Be careful who you offend.
So you have to be very careful whom you offend. Dravid is no slouch. He is one of the all-time greats. And he has correctly pointed out, his record is far superior. His record is only next to that of Tendulkar. That's why Gavaskar will not attack him directly. It's problem.
Sir, in the law, he talks about typology of people, opponents, suckers, and victims. He says being able to recognize these types of people and act accordingly is critical. The first style what he says is known as the arrogant or proud man. Although he may initially disguise it, this man's touchy price makes him very dangerous. If at any point you're dealing with a person who senses you sense is oversensitive and overreactive with pride, flee. That means he says avoid anyone who's proud and arrogant. What is
பக்கத்திலே போகக்கூடாது.
ஏன் அப்படி ஃபீல் பண்றீங்க சொல்லுங்க.
I don't want to take names, but Indian politics is full of people like that.
Who are hypersensitive.
Hypersensitive, highly arrogant, think too much of themselves. And அவங்கள பத்தி அவங்களுக்கு
அவாய்ட் பண்ணது better than trying to
அந்த பக்கம். ஆமா, see, if you deal with them, அவங்களோட நம்ம டீல் பண்ணோன்னு வையே, உடனே you have to காலில் விழுந்து கெஞ்சணும். இப்போ காலில் விழுந்து கெஞ்சலன்னு வையே, he will perceive a slight where there is no slight.
மிஸ்அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் போயிடும். And
he will டெஃபினட்டாக வரும். Between Kader Khan and Amitabh Bachchan aதாச்சு, but we don't want to discuss movies today. But it can happen to anybody. It can happen. It's happened to me several times in school, where I had to deal with a
oversensitive,
where a teacher and who is this kid trying to teach me, and I got punished.
Correct.
I have lost years because of that.
Filled with pride.
So adu one filled with pride. It happened between me. It happened in my life between me and my lawyer.
Correct.
And my lawyer did not turn up to court on an important day. So I had to learn how to. நான் லா படித்து நானே என் கேஸை ஆர்கியூ பண்ணுற மாதிரியாச்சு, உனக்கு தான் தெரியுமே. ஸோ அண்ட் தெர் ஆர் பிளென்டி. They are full of themselves. Correct. There are big artists who are full of themselves. நீ ஏதாவது தப்பா?
The second person he's talking about is called the hopeless insecure man. This man is related to the proud and arrogant type, but is less violent and hard to
Yes.
spot. His ego is fragile. His sense of self insecure, and he feels himself deceived or attacked, and will simmer. He will attack you in bites that will take forever to get big enough for you to notice. If you find you have deceived such a person, disappear for a long time. அவனோட அட்வைஸ் என்ன சொல்றான்னா, ஒரு ஹோப்லெஸ் இன்செக்யூர் மேனை நீ இன்சல்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன்னா கொஞ்ச நாள் நீ காணாம போகிறது தான் உனக்கு பெஸ்ட் ஆப்ஷன்.
ஆமாம், கொஞ்ச நாள் இல்லை, இன்சல்ட். இதுவும் ஃபஸ்ட்டு கேஸ் மாதிரி தான். ஃபஸ்ட்டு கேஸு இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் வித் அரகன்ஸ். இஸ் இன்டெலிஜென்ட் அண்ட் தேர்ஃபோர் இஸ் அரகன்ஸ். இந்த செகண்ட் கேஸ் என்னென்னா, யூ திங்க் யூ ஆர் இன்டெலிஜென்ட், you think you are above, and by chance you have got to a seat. You don't deserve that seat, but you have managed to get into that seat. You are hopelessly insecure because you think each guy is trying to bring you down. And the insecure man seat la ukandutana, you cannot do
much.
Anything. You cannot do much.
You have to wait for a long time for things to change.
Yeah, you have to wait for a long time for things to change.
The third type he talks about is called Mr. Suspicion. He sees what he wants to see, usually the worst in other people, and imagines everyone is after him. He play on his suspicious nature to get him to turn against his other people. அதில் என்ன சொல்கிறான்னா, you can use his idea of suspicion against him. Make him suspicious on his own friends and his own allies. அந்த ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி ஒர்க் ஆகும் நினைக்கிறீங்களா?
டெஃபினட்டாக. பிகாஸ் இவன் எப்படின்னா, எதை நினச்சாலும் அவன் சஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணிகிட்டே இருப்பான். திஸ் ஆல்சோ அன் இன்காம்பிட்டன்ட். நிறைய பேருக்கு ஒரு இன்காம்பிட்டன்ட் பாஸ் இருந்தான்னு வையே, யார் நம்மளை கவுக்கிறதுக்கு ரெடியாகிறான்னு காத்துனே இருப்பான். And if you are more competent, then he is always suspicious that you are going to take him out. That is ஒன்றை காலி கொண்டு வந்து. இது மாதிரி ஆளை என்ன பண்ணுறதுன்னா, நான் இல்லைப்பா, நீ யாரை ரொம்ப நம்பிட்டு இருக்கியோ அவன் தான் சஸ்பீஷன். யூ கேன் ஈஸிலி டைரக்ட் இட் அகேன்ஸ்ட் somebody. You can fool this guy. The first two characters you cannot fool, but this guy can be fooled.
Fourth type என்ன சொல்கிறான்னா, the serpent with a long memory. If hurt or deceived, this man will show no anger on the surface. He will calculate and wait. He is usually cold and unaffectionate. Be doubly careful of this snake. If you have somehow injured him, either crush him completely or get him out of your sight.
இதான் நான் சொன்னேன், இது கிளாசிக் எனிமி தான். If you have to hit an enemy, finish him completely. If you have made an enemy of somebody and you let him get away, believe me, world will turn. அவனுக்கு அவன் டார்கெட் கிடைக்கும். Every dog has its day தான். Then you have to pay the price. You have to pay the price. You have to pay it and pay a very dear price. And even சொல்கிற மாதிரிலாம் you cannot get away and all that.
Number 5 என்ன சொல்கிறான்னா, the plain, unassuming and often unintelligent man. This man is a lot harder to deceive than you imagine. The danger with this man is not that he will harm you or seek revenge, but merely he will waste your time and energy and resource and even your sanity in trying to deceive him. இதுமாரி ஒரு முட்டாளை போய் பிடிச்சுட்டானா ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் பண்ணி சொல்கிறான்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
முட்டாள் தான், ரியலி முட்டாளை there's no point wasting time with fools. This is what he says.
This is very true in life, I think. நம்ம நிறைய பேர் இப்படி மீட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். Where we try to help. ஆமாம். And we end up wasting.
Some fools cannot be helped at all.
உன்னோட ஃபேமஸ் மக் ஒன்று இருந்தது. A fool and his money may be soon parted, but think of all the fun he has.
Yes.
In this current environment, market frenzy which is going on with cryptocurrency, NFTs and whatnot, which is coming, being cooked up and being served to these fools. They all seem to have an appetite for anything that's being served, I think.
Anything that is served.
Correct.
Sorry. So, in the foolingardu general public.
Correct.
One famous editor told me that TV la paakravanoda age, mental age is 5. The average viewer who sees Tamil television, news television, either Tamil or English, his age is mental 5. So you have to target what they want. You have to serve them what they want. So as more intelligent people moved away from TV to internet, and internet opened up serious avenue for them. The people who are left to watch TV debates are all mental age 5. That is why you see the level of debates come down so much.
Correct. Even on English
And-
channels, it's terribly bad.
This is especially true of English channels. It is terrible.
Very abusive towards each other.
Yeah. And the level of anchors have dropped because this is the kind of people who watch.
So-called TRP rating, chasing the ratings.
அது இன்னொன்று என்னன்னா, இந்த கிரிப்டோ வி நியூ இட் வுட் ஃபெயில். இந்தியாவில் உட்காந்துக்கிட்டு நீ கிரிப்டோ ஆட முடியாது. நீ வாட் யூ டூ அப்ராட் இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃப்ரம் வாட் யூ டூ இன் India. Maybe Bitcoin will do well because Bitcoin was the first mover advantage. But not every crypto is Bitcoin.
And of course, also, if you entered Bitcoin early, you have advantage. நீ இப்போ Bitcoin enter பண்ணனா, I don't know.
I'm talking of the early movers.
Yeah, early movers. Correct.
And you should own the Bitcoin. You cannot have Bitbins and fractional holding. India fractional holding. So the issue is this. So the entire universe, and when you try to tell the universe, which I did, அது தவறு அப்படின்னு நான் சொன்னபோது, கிழவன் பெருசு வயசாயிடுச்சு, அவனுக்கு டெக்னாலஜி தெரியாது, அது மாதிரிலாம் சொல்லுவாங்க. சேம்
வாரன் பஃபெட் அதானே சொல்கிறாங்க.
அதே தான் எல்ஐசிலையும் அதே தான் சொன்னாங்க. எல்ஐசியில் நான் சொன்னேன், வாங்காதப்பா இது நடக்கிறதுன்னு. அண்ட் வி ஹாவ் அன் இன்டிமேட் ஃபெய்த், இன்ட்ரென்சிக் ஃபெய்த் இன் கவர்மெண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் சே தட் அவங்க சொல்கிறதெல்லாம் கரெக்டுன்னு. இன்னைக்கு 689 ரூபா, அது 689.
கரெக்ட்.
ஸோ தி கை ஹூ பாட் இட்
மார்க்கெட் செமையாக கிராஷ் ஆயிடுச்சு.
950க்கு வாங்கினவங்க கதி என்ன ஆகும்?
கரெக்ட். சங்குதான்.
அதுதான்.
ருப்பி வேற இறங்கிடுது, 78
ருப்பி. ஸோ இதுதான் அந்த ஃபிஃப்த் கேட்டகரி தான் லார்ஜஸ்ட்.
ஃபாரின்
இன்வெஸ்டர்ஸ் ஹேவ் பீன் செல்லிங் ஃபார் லாங் டைம்.
ரொம்ப லார்ஜ்
இந்தியா மட்டும் இல்லை, வலம் ஃபுல்லாக அந்த ஃபிஃப்த் டைப்பு ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி. ஆனால் தான் ஈஸியாக வந்து ஈமு கோழி, ஆருத்ரா கோல்டு.
That's the same reason why they're not able to pass any effective gun law in the US. Because they've convinced the masses, the fools, into thinking ஏதோ செகண்ட் அமெண்ட்மெண்ட் ஏதோ ஒன்று பிடிச்சி வச்சுட்டு, ஒரே ஒரு வேர்டை பிடிச்சி வச்சுட்டு, ரைட் டு பேர் ஆர்ம்ஸ். They don't even read the full second amendment. அந்த half a sentence பிடிச்சி வச்சுட்டு, a small minority is holding the whole country to hostage.
Chalo, I had a great time.
We had an extended play today.
Yeah.
So it was nice to catch up after 2 days break.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy Thanjavur?
I loved it.
How was it to meet all your fans in real life, man?
Really great. Really great. Okay. I don't know why they like me so much. In fact, somebody mentioned you and asked you where you are in Q&A. I said I'll bring him to Madurai.
Okay. When are we doing Madurai?
I think first week of July.
First week of July. Okay, something to look forward to. Chalo,
yeah.
You have a good day and we'll catch up tomorrow.